Hi, welcome back to Move365. We're going to develop the idea from yesterday about neutral spine, and I'm going to show you a little exercise which is essentially a movement pattern which is a squat. It's just a squat done lying down. And there is a practical application for this, something that you will do every day, which we'll get to at the end. If you're watching on Instagram, remember, click on the bio, hit the link for the YouTube channel, get over there and watch the full-length video, or just go to youtube.com and search Move365. So, remember, before I lie down, remember, neutral spine position, as far as your lower back is concerned, is maintenance of this little hollow shape in your lower back, about a midpoint between all the way extended and all the way flexed, around about the middle, that little hollow shape. If you're lying down, it's that place where you could just slide your fingertips underneath the small of your back. Easily slide them in. So, our exercise. I'm going to get you to bring your feet and your feet in line between your hips and your knees. So, if you start with your feet together, you can take the heels apart and then just bring the toes in line with the heels, and that should make you roughly feet, knees and hips all in line. And what we're going to do essentially is simply lift our hips off the deck. So things to consider. You're going to start with the lower back in a neutral position. You're going to brace, remember that engagement of all of your abdominal muscles, a bit like you would resist against something or somebody punching you in the stomach, that rigidity, that core stability that you get from bracing in that way. And you're going to perhaps also put an object, it's maybe a little bit small, but something to hold between your knees. I don't want you squeezing it, I just want something there that you can hold on to, so that as you lift your hips up, you don't spread your knees apart. So the knees stay in line because they're just holding onto this towel, okay? Now, you're going to lift up, keeping the spine in neutral all the way. We're sending the knees away and the hips come up and into line between your knees and your shoulders. And then back down again. And I hope that you'll notice, I'm going to take that away because it's a bit narrow. I hope that you'll notice that I'm hinging around my hips. What I'm not doing is the Pilates move, this curl up type move. I'm not tilting my pelvis backwards, imprinting my spine, pressing my spine down into the deck, lifting off one vertebra at a time, Pilates style. I'm not doing that. And when I get to the top, doing it in reverse, braking at the lower thoracic spine in order to imprint one vertebra at a time down onto the ground. The reason I'm not doing that is that takes my spine out of neutral and it risks putting pressure on the discs in between my vertebra. And if you have got a disc problem, which is part of a lower back condition, then you're going to suffer for that. That is not something that will help you. You need this neutral position, bracing with your abdominal muscles, and you need to keep that neutral position all the way through the movement. Knees get sent away, you squeeze your butt in order to lift those hips, extend those hips up towards the ceiling. Breathing, you should be able to breathe easily. It's not a question of breathing out as you come up and in as you come down. You should be able to breathe easily throughout the activity, keeping these muscles engaged, and then hinging again around the hips to sit back down. It's a squat. It's lifting the hips up and it's sitting your hips back down. Simple as that. The practical application, well, if you're lying in bed and you want to turn over, bend your knees, engage the abdominal muscles, lift your hips a little bit, shift them to the side, shoulders can follow, again, lifting and shifting around onto your side. From there, if you want to sit up, you just push up like so. No stress on my lower back. Unlike trying to do a sit-up where I'm stressing my neck, I'm putting flexion into my lower back. It's hard work, lots of pressure on the discs in my lower back. You do that first thing in the morning when the discs are at their highest internal pressure anyway, because they've been absorbing fluid overnight. There is a high risk that you will put a little bit of micro damage into the wall of the disc. If you do that enough times, we know the disc becomes injured in a way that can be very painful. So, try that exercise. How many should you do? Well, it's going to vary. It depends on your condition. You should only do as many as you're comfortable doing. It's perhaps more important that you get used to moving in that style, in that pattern, because you can use that pattern, you can apply that pattern in a number of different ways. Bending, lifting, pushing, pulling. It's actually all using a squat pattern, and this is just one example of that. I hope that's helpful. Please share with your friends. Click the little thumbs up symbol on YouTube. Gets the video seen by more people. I'm here every day. In fact, tomorrow we are going to be in Mallorca. So I'm going to set you a video from there. So we're here every day, bringing you good health through good movement.